Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're doing a speed paint of drawing a Dragon Ball Super panel. I would usually put up the panel that I'm redrawing for you guys, but I decided not to do that just because Toei is always on people's ass about Dragon Ball stuff. So I don't want the video taken down, even though I'm like a very small channel. That doesn't mean anything, right? So I'm not gonna put up the panel, but I'm just gonna tell you I'm not entirely sure what chapter it's from. I'm gonna sound like a really big poser right now, but I don't actually read Dragon Ball Super. Not because I have anything against Dragon Ball Super in general. I watched the show when it was airing. I stopped during the Tournament of Power, but that's neither here nor there. I know generally what happens, but I saw this panel while I was looking through the Dragon Ball tag on Tumblr or something, and I was like, oh my gosh, they look so cute. Like, no offense, I know they're like, supposed to be big, burly guys or whatever, but I feel like the way that Toyotaro draws them, they just look really cute. I don't know what it was, and so when I looked at this panel, I was like, they look really cute, so I wanted to redraw it. So this is basically just a panel, a page of Vegeta, and then there's Whis and Goku and Lemo from one of Broly's friends or whatever from Dragon Ball Super Broly, the movie. And so I was like, I'll just go ahead and redraw this page. I don't really, you guys know, my ultimate goal is to be able to draw comics and stuff. So I feel like studying the way that other people do their paneling is actually going to be very good for me. But I really just wanted to redraw this because I thought they looked very cute. Unfortunately, when I did it myself, I feel like they don't come out as cute as they do in the original, but like that's to be expected, right? Like Toyotaro has been doing like comics for like 15 years, not even like officially, just on his own, doing all that Dragon Ball AF stuff or whatever. I think he was Dragon Ball AF, I'm not sure. But anyway, doesn't matter. So when I was approaching this, I did my best. I really did my best. I feel like the reason why it looks a little bit off is because I don't have the page layout correct. And then also I feel like I drew the proportion really off when I was doing these sketches and stuff. And then even you see me doing this part, you guys, this is all gonna get got rid of because I really didn't like the way Vegeta's faces were coming out, and I felt like it was really important for Vegeta's faces to come out good because his like pretty much the focal point of this page, because he's like teasing Goku here about how he lost their fight to him one time, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. And I feel like his face, even in the new ones, I mean, this one I'm gonna get rid of, I already told you guys that, but even in the new ones, I feel like his face is just not smug enough. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I really struggled with the paneling. I really struggled with everything, but I generally did have a lot of fun doing this. I've never drawn Whis or Lemo before, and so I really struggled with Whis a lot. I just feel like he's really kind of outside of the realm of what I would typically draw, just because Dragon Ball has like really silly character designs, really fun character designs, and I mostly just draw like normal humans, and so I don't really go outside of anything that's just like regular humanoid. And even Lemo was kind of hard for me, even though he's like just a little guy. He also has wrinkles on his face. He's actually older, and I'm like, I don't really draw old people. I hope when I do this he'll look old. I feel like he does come out looking pretty old, like older than everybody else anyway. So I think I was successful in that area. And I also chose this because it has a background. Like I said, I've been trying to get better at backgrounds. I feel like I kind of fudged it when I get to the background part for this one. But I mean, what are you going to do, right? If you can't draw backgrounds, you can't draw backgrounds. If we already know, I'm not the best at backgrounds. But I feel like when I was doing this, it did help me a little bit trying to figure out some techniques for backgrounds. When I was looking through the backgrounds for the comic panel, I noticed that there was a lot of hatching and a lot of different textures added to like the tree and to the grass, and I was like, oh, that'd be good to copy, to learn, because I don't draw grass, I don't draw trees, and even my tree didn't come out exactly like that tree, but I'm maintaining that it was because I was working on it for 8 hours and I was tired. It was not exactly 8 hours all the way through, but it was pretty close. I only took like a couple of breaks, and so I was really just trying to get it done because I knew I wanted it to be a video for today, but I very much underestimated the amount of time it would take me because I forgot that Dragon Ball Super is a monthly release, and Toyotaro probably has like 5 assistants who help him work on it, and I'm just one person. So I feel like but also I don't really draw comics or comic panels, and so I feel like I do not have an efficient process. We already can tell because I redrew Vegeta's all 3 panels of Vegeta twice, because I felt like I was looking at the reference a little bit too closely, and I was subconsciously trying to mimic a little bit of the Dragon Ball style. Obviously, it didn't look anything like Dragon Ball, but I was copying like the proportions by mistake. And my proportions and Dragon Ball proportions are not exactly the same. I wouldn't even say that they're very similar at all. I mean, they're similar in the sense that they're humanoids, but not in the sense where they're like actually genuinely close to each other. You guys know art. You guys can tell. There's very much difference in style. So I was copying that too much, and so it was really getting a little bit hard for me to maintain that I was doing my own style for these panels. And I feel like there are still some sections that are a little bit more of what Dragon Ball Super style would do instead of what I would do personally, like Vegeta's hair. I felt like I tried to make it sort of the spiky way that I like to make it, but I feel like it still looks a little bit closer to the regular Dragon Ball style. And Goku's hair too, also, it's not really what I would have done, I don't think. And also, I don't know, I just felt like a little bit different. And Whis' hair, I would never draw that hairstyle, no offense to Whis with his hair, but I just copied the lines in it, and I'm like, I don't really draw lines in hair though, so it felt a little bit off. And so yeah, there are some parts that I felt like I had to add in there to make it look recognizable, I feel like, but also I felt like if I left them out, it would look weird, and so I was putting more of that style into my art than I usually would. Like I said, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. I actually am really glad that I tried to do this. It's not really something I ever tried before. I did one time redraw a panel from One Piece, but it was really just one panel and not a whole page. And this was a little bit challenging for myself because this panel had a background in it, and you guys know I'm trying to get better at backgrounds. And also I got to have fun with trying to replicate screen tones, I guess. I just use different colors for the parts that would, like all the gray and stuff that usually would be done with screen tones, but obviously I don't have any screen tone and I didn't want to look for a screen tone brush, so I just had to go in with gray. And then you guys see me do the background right there. I had a lot of fun doing the background, actually, even though I don't really like to do backgrounds. It was really a fun sort of study to try and replicate it as closely as I thought I could. Like I said, I don't feel like it looks really even as good or even close to as good as the original does, but I praise myself for just doing it and actually finishing it. For a while I was thinking about just abandoning this. I was like, maybe this is not a good idea for a video, and maybe it's just like kind of come out so bad that I'm gonna like not want to show people. And there are parts of it I don't like, but none of it is so bad where I feel like I wouldn't be able to show it to you guys. I feel like maybe I made Goku's eyes a little bit big, and they're a little bit off with proportions and stuff, but I have to maintain that, hey, this is a first try, okay? And it's okay if things don't come out perfect your first try, or even on the second try, or even on the third try. The important thing is that you just keep trying. The only time you ever lose is when you give up, right? And so I didn't give up. I decided I was going to keep going with it. And so I'm not 100% satisfied with it, with any part of it, really. But that's okay. And I don't think it's a bad thing to be disappointed when your art is not up to the standard you put in your head. And even, you know what? I'm not even really disappointed with it. I not really dislike it either. I don't know. It's like a weird sort of space. It's like, I feel like I could have done better, but I'm still satisfied or content enough to put it out into the universe, which I think is kind of nice, you know? And so maybe I will try to do this again. Maybe not with Dragon Ball Super, because like I said, I don't really read Dragon Ball Super. I just found this panel and I thought it was cute. This page, and I thought it was cute, but I might try. Oh, and I had to add the speech bubbles. You guys, I never write speech bubbles, and I was actually kind of worried about having the text, but the text I found was actually kind of similar, and so I feel like it actually kind of looks nice. And so anyway, this is the finished piece. Thank you guys for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.